As part of our Aphrodisiac in honor of Valentine's Day meal, I'm creating a dessert that is a custard-based French vanilla ice cream, and I've incorporated into that candied dates that have been macerated in, as you can see, Armagnac or cognac. You can use brandy, you don't have to use that, and I happen to have this on hand and I don't drink it, so I cook with it. We are going to first start, I've pre-done this because it's sort of tedious to watch me do this, but what I've done essentially is take 6 eggs yolks and whip those up, set those aside in a bowl, set up a double boiler. In the top of the double boiler I've put whipping cream, 3/4 of a cup of very fine sugar, and heated that up, not until it's boiling, until it's sort of steaming and you know it's hot. Then you take a little bit of that mixture and you stir that into your egg yolks, just to sort of temper the egg yolks. Then after that you can take the whole egg yolk mixture and whisk it into your cream mixture in the top of the double boiler. You do that until, and keep stirring, don't stop and don't wander away from it, take care of it because you don't want your egg yolks to curdle. That's a big deal because it will change the whole texture and you probably have to start all over again because you want it to be rich and silky and creamy and have a lovely texture. When you've finished doing that, you cook it until it's a light custard that should coat the back of a spoon. Then you add, at the last minute, you add vanilla. And the best vanilla that you can find, the best vanilla comes from Madagascar. It's called bourbon vanilla. I think they preserve it in bourbon. It's really wonderful, and you don't want to add that in the middle. You don't want to add that at the beginning because you don't want to lose the aromatics from the vanilla. You want to taste all that lovely flavor. You don't want it dissipating into the air. So after we've done that, we have it perfectly sort of set up. We refrigerate it, make it nice and cold, which we've done here. And while all of that is going on, we take fresh dates, which I have here, and I have pitted the dates. Basically, that's very easy to do. You just cut them lengthwise, peel them apart, take the pit out. This is what they look like. This one I have chopped, not terribly finely. The recipe that I used didn't tell me how to do this, so I decided to cut corners and make it fast and use my food processor. So I used my small prep food processor. And you get more of a jammy texture, which should work out pretty well. You don't end up with a lot of big chunks, although you can do some of this and add that in as well. I think it would be quite lovely to do that. You add the brandy. You can leave this overnight, couple of days, couple of hours, whatever your timing is like. And the custard will also keep in your fridge for a couple of days too before you use it. You don't have to do this all immediately. So what we're going to do after this is get out the chill chamber for my ice cream maker. There are all kinds of fabulous ice cream makers out there. This is the most basic, and it's also one of the least expensive. This one is a Cuisinart, and I think I paid between $40 and $60. I've had it for a while, so I can't quite remember. And I have 2 of them so that I can change them around or make 2 different kinds of ice cream at the same time. It's sort of fun to do that. Basically, to the chill chamber for the ice cream. Scooping this in here. It's noisy. There are much quieter ones, but like I say, it works perfectly well and it's not an expensive piece of equipment. So I'm getting as much of this custard in here as I can. Now, we're just going to set that aside and put the lid on, and that will just sit there and do its thing for 20 minutes, and then the next thing we'll be doing, after it starts to set up and really starts to freeze, we'll start adding this, the dates with. Continuing with the ice cream, it's been working away, making ice cream out of itself for the past 20 minutes or so, and it's at the very sort of thick, kind of creamy stage, not at the really stiff stage. So at this stage, I am going to incorporate the dates that have been soaked in brandy. The dates are incorporated into the ice cream at that sort of creamy stage. There's an opening in the top for you to be able to add things like this, and this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to do it in bits. So this stuff is very thick and very jam-like, and I would like it to work its way down to the bottom. And get incorporated into the ice cream. should be, I think, pretty yummy when it gets going. This is exactly the way we do this. Mine's sitting on the top, so I'm going to give it a little poke with this to just push it down so that it gets incorporated before it starts to freeze in the top. And we'll just wait for that to finish becoming ice cream.
Stop.
These are the ginger thins that I'm planning on using with this ice cream, triple ginger thins from Trader Joe's. They're very good. And the good thing about them too is they're only 140 calories and, count them, 9 cookies. So you can eat a lot of these. Creamy stage, not at the really stiff stage. So at this stage, I am going to, I've included a recipe for the cookies. It's a triple ginger cookie. It's a lovely cookie recipe. I am not doing that recipe today, and I am taking a shortcut, which I'm sure all of you would like to take too, because, you know, the less time you spend cooking, the more time you have for romance. And so I am serving, with my lovely ice cream, I am serving triple ginger thin cookies from Trader Joe's, and they're fabulous. You can use them as sandwiches and put the ice cream in between, or just serve the cookies on the side, and the flavors meld really well with the French vanilla ice cream and the brandy dates. So I hope you enjoy it.